Good evening. Welcome to Investigator News, and I'm your host, Ellie. And um, there's rumors of Hillary Michelle ticket, and my blood curdled instantly. Hillary. I will never let Hillary forget. And I've sent her many, many, many messages, and to the White House, even during the Obama years. Obama knows about this. What am I talking about? The boys on the track. The Clintons committed murder in Arkansas in 1987. And I was friends with Kevin Ives' mom, Linda Ives. She's recently passed away, and her daughter that was fighting for the boys. 10 boys were killed that night, ordered by the Clintons. They do not deserve to get in the White House again. Never. I'm putting it small. I'm putting me small, but I'm going to have you guys watch this and I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. Linda Ives, I promised her I would not let the Clintons get away with this. I would go to my dying days to expose what they have done, killing innocent boys under the age of 18. We found out that Don Henry's family was even, his sister was out on the track that night. Everybody was out to get the drugs, the cocaine that was dropped on the airstrip. I even had a friend that said he knew where, not a friend, he was, I don't even want to say, well, he was kind of. He came into where I worked every night and said, "Hey, I know where to get coke for free." I said, "What?" He said, "Yeah, cocaine. There's an airstrip that close to here to Little Rock that I can, uh, we scrape it off the tarmac." So, he may have been out there that night. We don't know. But when they showed up with thugs. These men have gotten away with murder. All of the ones that actually were ordered and paid to commit these murders of close to 30 people just to cover it up. They're now have cush jobs, not push jobs, cush jobs. One of them, even the drug czar over our dispensaries here in Arkansas. Yeah, I hit him up all the time too. And he was told he's going to sue me. You know what? Sue me. You killed some boys. You killed some boys. And yeah, I hope you guys read this. Now you can find, I've done what, Karen, at least every year, have done a 3, 4, 5-part series report on the boys on the track. So if you're new and don't know about this, go look it up. Boys on the track. Now, I did post this video in Investigator News videos. It's on our playlist. I'm pretty sure if you look through our playlist, you probably find all the videos. But if not, go look for yourselves, folks. This happened. It happened. Linda Ives lost her son. And for all these years, we got very excited here a couple of years ago, Karen. What was it, 2 years ago? We were going to get a final report from the FBI. We've been waiting from the FBI to be able to see the documents. And we got quite a few pages. They were all blackened, just like you see right there. Right there. Look, that's what we got. All the pages were black. Why? Because they are protecting the Clintons. Department of Justice, the State Department, all of them protect the Clintons from this murder. There's no statute of limitations on murder. And if Hillary Clinton gets in and she thinks she's going to get put on a ticket, I'm coming after you, Hillary. I'm coming after you. I promised Linda Ives I would. Karen knows I'm dead serious on this one, folks. And once you watch all the parts of these videos, you too will be just as angry. that these two heroin addicts, Bill and Hillary Clinton, killed, ordered, not killed, they ordered the deaths. Why? Because what was heard on the phone? No witnesses. No witnesses. So they were ordered to kill all these boys. Just boys. They could have scared them into silence. They could have scared them, but they didn't. And a lot of them that did the killings have been arrested. They've been charged. I'm so tired of hearing that these men get away year after year of dealing drugs in Arkansas. And because of who they are, they get away. They walk away. They know the judges, they know the DAs. In fact, one was even a DA. One of the judges was even part of the Clinton regime that was getting free cocaine. Yeah, so you get free coke and you can kill and get away with it. Not only that, but what gets me? Oops, I guess it's over. Let me pull this out. So go and watch the series, folks. Go and watch it. You'll see what I'm talking about. This is one of the biggest reasons why I started this live, isn't it, Karen? The reason I started a lot of this is because I wanted to expose the Clintons for what they had done in Arkansas. And I'm sick of what we see in the people that get away with it. And not only that, but Whitewater, screwing over um, uh, dozens of senior citizens out of money. That's what Whitewater was about. And then, of course, they don't talk about Chinagate, where they sold secrets to China. No, no, no. Let's worry about Monica Lewinsky and that stupid dress. All right, I'm gonna move on before I get too far into this. So I got an Israel update. Israel and Palestine remains in effect um, uh, in a war. The Israel Defense Forces have continued to bomb Lebanon. Hamas militants intending to launch an attack inside Israel boundaries attempted to do so through Lebanon borders. This time, Israel intelligence has pinpointed the location of Hamas in Lebanon, folks. Remember, I said the other day that I bet Hamas is going to run up to Lebanon and join up with Hezbollah. Well, yeah, now it's happened. Militants stationed on Lebanon borders of Israel army was able to repel a new Hamas offensive by neutralizing fighters. As a result of airstrikes it coordinated while the conflict between Israel and Palestine continues. The fact that Turkey has begun to intervene in the issue indirectly makes the U.S. and NATO countries uneasy. So Hamas is up in Lebanon, joined up with Hezbollah, as well as now Turkey could be. Turkey has been um, exposed, having troops helping Hezbollah in Syria. Now, William talked about this last night, so you're going to have to go back and talk and take a look at what he had to say. So we have that. I heard Biden come out the other day about Thanksgiving, and he thinks everybody's happy with what he's done. He says he is number one for all of the economy in history. And then, when we look at I see a lot of the polls, and it kind of irritates me because a lot of it, they're doing a lot of polls right now saying, well, the Democrats and the Republicans and the Democrats and the Republicans and this state and that state and the polls and the percentages. Well, but you know what? Immigration and the economy are the top two issues that everybody's worried about. And it dominates double digits, close to like almost 60% of the country. That's Democrats, independents, and Republicans. That is the top uh, concern of the country. And it's been the leading issue now for 113 weeks. American people want jobs. The jobs have disappeared. They want jobs that pay well, and they want to be able to feed their families. They want safe and secure towns. And that starts with safe and secure borders. There is nothing Joe Biden can do in the next 11 months to change the massive dumpster fire that he's been pouring gasoline on for the last 3 years. The economy is in a downward spiral. The border is absolutely a national security scare. So, what do? They hold a press conference. They go on cable news. They write news articles. They do everything they can do, hoping that lying to you will make everyone somehow or another forget reality. Have you forgotten about? Is it a forgotten reality to you? Is a smaller paycheck a reality? Is the cost of everything we pay for? Is that a reality? Or are we in an anti reality when we listen to the news and we listen to the press briefings and even Biden speaking? Are we beginning to question ourselves? What's true? What's true? What's facts? What's um, fake news? What's true? What is really true? And I really do feel everyone's pain because I'm going through the same thing. Because we feel it in our wallets. We feel it at the grocery store. We feel it at the gas pumps or border towns. We feel it in their overflowing streets in Chicago. People of the progressives in Chicago, New York, Michigan, Illinois, California, Oregon, Washington are saying we can't handle all of this. And I've got friends in these states, and they're saying they don't know what to do. Now they can't even afford to flee because everything sucks up their checks. So Biden says, here's the truth, and he's going to ease your mind, he said. Americans gathered around their own kitchen tables for Thanksgiving dinner. That our goal was to give them a little more breathing room. Together we made progress. From turkey to air travel to the tank of gas. Cost went down. And if people that making a lot of money, well, that doesn't matter because a lot of the costs are relatively small compared to wealthy incomes. And the share of earnings of this Thanksgiving dinner was the fourth cheapest ever on record. Yeah, really? Really? Was it, folks? I want all of you to know, what does that even mean? As a share of earnings this Thanksgiving was the fourth cheapest ever? Really? No. Get this, it was the most expensive in history. Equating earnings to cost of living just because they say so, just because he says so, press briefer lady says so, media says so. Is it true? And the media fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. Under the laws of the idiots, lying atrocities. I made that one up. You know where everyone's an idiot much more than ever before. I'm not calling you idiots. The people starving, the people struggling. No, I'm calling these people that want to spew their lies. lying to you. Why? Everyone's an idiot much more than ever before because they can't even dig their way out of it. They don't even have a plan, folks. So I called a few senators and congressmen. I said, what's the plan? We're talking Democrats. We just go along with what we're sent. What are you being sent? Click. Yeah, great plan. Click. The Wall Street Journal would like to remind you that the economy is actually great. Why do we blame Biden? Well, Bloomberg apparently reading the same thing and talking points again. The economy is great. So quit your worrying. Quit your flipping crying. Biden's economy is so amazing, isn't it? Bloomberg said Biden's economy is so dang amazing, it's a curse. Yeah. The idiot equation reflects what you experience. Around your dinner table. Last week, according to the Bureau of Labor, statistics of your dollar has lost 20% of value. Your dollar, 20% right off the top. Now, if we go back just before the pandemic, that number jumps almost 30%. And they found out this Thanksgiving was not the fourth most expensive. I used to say we're number two, number three, two or three or four show in the world. No, people just assume that. Why? Because that's what the media tells them. We're number one. We're doing well. We've had the lowest Thanksgiving and the lowest cost in history right now. It's a trick. It's a trap. Yeah, it is. This Thanksgiving was the most expensive ever. That's the reality. And the numbers back it up. The mainstream media is having trouble covering for this debacle that's being run. The numbers, they're insane. I think you'll be able to relate on how cheap everything was, really. The actual cost for average American this Thanksgiving, they talk about the average Joe. Yeah, that's what they like to throw in there. The average Joe. He's sitting, I heard from the this administration, he's sitting on a pile of cash because there's lots of jobs. The economy is great. Well, he drew short. He drew short. To ho, we have those that are the rich that, the family that's poor. Yeah, you got to pay for all of them to come to your house because they can't really afford Thanksgiving. So the richest one in the family hosts. Sometimes they borrow money for gas, planes, trains, and automobiles, which kind of sucks because Joe had to help out with some of their travel, especially given the cost of airfare. Remember, he mentioned airfare. It's the cheapest airfare, and it's up this year. He said it's the cheapest and since the cheapest ever. Well, no, it's up 25%. And that's I guess that's cheap. Well, Joe, the average Joe invited everyone out because he was hoping he was going to be in a brand new house this year. But the home values, he kind of had it put to on a back burner. He couldn't get that house this year because the prices of houses have skyrocketed. Get this, the price of a house is up 42%. So that's double from when Donald Trump was in office. And it doesn't help now, the mortgage rates and your interest rates is up uh, at percentage points. So the the mortgage interest points are now up. So poor little average Joe is out of luck. So he couldn't get the house, so he's just living in an apartment now, an apartment building. He rents, and he's been screwed. Oh yeah, he's been screwed on that one too. Rent costs with deposits up 40%. Think about that. Rent with deposits up 40%. Not only that, if you try to lease or mortgage, that's up 24%. That's just in renting. And adding insult to injury, water bills, he was hoping was going to live, Joe, average Joe was going to live by the lake so he could go get a cup of water at night for free. Because that's what we were told. If we bought into the Green New Deal, the water would be free. Well, no, it's 16% higher. Electricity from the power company is up a whopping 25%. Food must be cheap then, just to cover for these increases of, all these jobs and that he's got going on. And you know what? To live in California, their electric bill in California is up 51 to 55%. Yeah, let's get Gavin Newsom in there. Yeah, he's doing them good. To get a new gas stove, all major appliances are up 12%. Oh, and gas, I mean, if you got to do what you got to do, it doesn't help. Natural gas is all now up 29%. See, this is the cheapest, first cheapest Thanksgiving ever. So Joe, the average Joe heads to his car. He's got to be diligent to keep up. He's got a really good, nice car. Everybody's been buying these nice EV cars. Sure, he keeps it in tip-top shape, but the major breakdown would be catastrophic because just a used car is up 35%. New cars up 50%. Car insurance, yeah, you got to have insurance, up 33%. And then the gas, it was under Trump, $1.50 to about $1.80, the greatest economy ever, right? Gas is now $3.20 to $4 a gallon. I've heard even maybe $7 in some places. 3 short years. Let's go $1.50 to $4, maybe $5 to $7. And they may have dropped the prices of that turkey, but the prices of everything that went with it went up 37%. But if you're hungry, stop by McDonald's with fast food because it's $10 to $16 for just a full meal. A burger, fries, and a drink. $10 to $15 a meal. And beef, you buy in the store, $2 to do $2.50 $2 to $2.50 higher than it was a few years ago. Coffee is also $3 higher. Veggies and fruit 15% higher. Another thing is, we love our dogs and cats because I had to go look that one up too. Dog and cat food, litter, anything that has to do with your pets, up 20%. So when you sum it all up, we're paying a 35 to 50% more for or to be able to live, just and we're living paycheck to paycheck. Why? What was the difference? If if the last administration, I said it's not the man, it's the plan, right? The plan was working and it kept all these prices down low. How did it go from one day and 24 hours later we got screwed because it had to be higher? And it had to be higher. Why? Why did they raise all these prices? And when asked, they don't know. Nobody knows. They just say it's better for the country that we do this. And they wrote in on the budget millions and billions of dollars that we had to just agree to. And when I called on it, they said, well, your representatives in your Congress, in your Senate or representatives, we go on what we feel is best for you. It's not what the voter wants, folks. It's what they want. That's what happened. It's not the man, it's the plan. That's what I keep wanting to tell you guys. Um, boy, I got a lot of news today. Now, the next thing I want to get to is these EV cars. And I mentioned on the last show that these EV cars are um, catching on fire. They're attacking Elon Musk. They want to hit him up first of 16,000 cars. But all in all, I went and looked right before the show because I didn't want to get the wrong numbers. Close to 30,000 vehicles or more. They're talking, there could be 60,000 that are now caught on fire and considered a hazard to have. They're saying don't park them. Don't park them in your garages. Don't park them close to your houses. Don't park them in a parking lot next to cars. Why all these warnings? Well, probably because um, they're a fire hazard. And I it's hard for me to get a video. I had to get it through the fire chief to where I could show this because this administration is blocking and punishing anybody that gives this information out. And so I'm going to go ahead and let you guys watch this one because this is interesting.
The purpose of this show reel is to provide some real-life examples of lithium battery fires and illustrate the different ways the fires present in the different devices. First, here are some examples of typical smaller device lithium battery fires which have been featured on YouTube and in the news. Mobile phone fires. A standard mobile phone comes with a built-in safety device which will usually switch it off at about 40 degrees centigrade. But if, for example, the phone was left in the sun on a car dashboard, it will continue to heat up until it catches a light. Mobile phones contain a small lithium battery, typically 60 watt-hours or less. E-cigarettes. These contain a cylindrical cell battery. There is virtually no warning. They almost seem to spontaneously ignite. This can be particularly dangerous when kept in a pocket. Power banks. These devices contain larger size cell batteries, typically 4 times 21/700s, which can charge a phone 3 or 4 times. That amount of stored energy can cause quite a significant fire if the power bank is in a bag or pocket. A lithium battery powering a laptop is usually between 60 and 100 watt-hours and is capable of spraying debris across the office, so is likely to set other areas of the room on fire too. Electric scooter fire. There is more warning with this as smoke is emitted first, but it still erupts into a fire quickly. The lithium battery is in region of 500 to 750 watt-hours. Electric scooters are now banned on TfL network due to fire risk and regular fire incidents which have taken place. E-bikes. These can have up to a kilowatt-hour lithium battery, Just like the e-scooter, the fire starts by emitting smoke first. Using a garden hose to spray the battery with water doesn't make any difference to the fire. It just keeps going. And now for some larger fires involving a recycling centre, a battery energy storage system, BESS, and a couple of electric vehicles. The recycling centre. All lithium battery devices have a built-in obsolescence, so once they have been through up to 1,000 cycles of recharging the battery, will need to be replaced. It's worth noting that this is also true for electric vehicles, so the number of batteries and devices which are going through recycling centres is ever increasing. Powder extinguishers are often used on large lithium battery fires in recycling centres, but these are ineffective, so the battery will continue to reignite. 0.7 litres of smoke is generated per battery watt-hour. Therefore, a 6.5 watt-hour battery will generate at least 5 litres of smoke. Next is a video showing testing of the fire hazard of a 125 kilowatt-hour energy storage system comprised of lithium nickel oxide, lithium manganese oxide batteries. The fire smokes for a long time, but once the flames break through, the whole container is destroyed due to propagation of thermal runaway from pack to pack. In China, there was one of these container fires per month last year. Electric vehicle fires can reignite hours, days, or even weeks after being extinguished. So the key question is, when is a fire out? The fire brigade struggled to douse the fire even using 3,000 gallons of water. Fire chief.
So you could see that these EV lithium batteries are catching fire. You see the cars rolling down the road on some of these videos with the underneath of their cars on fire, and cars going by are honking and telling them your car's on fire. And still, we're pushed to have to buy these things. Yeah, buy an e-bike. Well, an e-bike, it's not even safe to have in your house. It's not even safe to charge it close to your home. Did you see the cell phones? Buyer beware, folks. It's not happening to everyone. It's a very small percentage. But what would happen if your computer, laptop, your phone, or you park your EV bike in your house because you don't want it stolen and set your whole house on fire? Or what if you live in an apartment complex? Not only would you have to pay for your apartment, but any smoke and fire damage and the ones above and below or beside you. They're going to sue you. An insurance company raised the cost of your insurance rates. And now they're saying that if it's due to an EV product, you will be held responsible for the cost. So if you park your car in your garage and it catches on fire and burns your house down, and your insurance company, they're thinking about this, says, no, well, it's an EV. We're not going to cover your damages. Think about how hot your phone gets when you talk on it. Think about how hot your laptop gets when you're using it. It's the lithium, folks. And me and William talked about us getting excited, this country very excited over lithium. Oh, yes, we will have the lithium. We'll have the lithium and we'll be able to do our own EVs. Really? Can we trust this administration to do what's right, to put out a lithium product that won't burn our house down? I say not. And I challenge them. I challenge them to prove me wrong. I won't get a car. I won't get an EV car because you got to get the power station or the power thing that goes on your house. Well, what's that full of? Batteries. They get hot, those lithium batteries. Think about it. Think about how safe. They're now saying you need to park your car on the street. but not too close to your neighbors. They're saying don't park. If you go to Walmart, park way out, away from all the other cars. I'm all for electric cars, electric things, but they went too fast. They went so fast to force us under this climate change. Yeah, boo, woo, hey, the climate change. Well, you know what? If they wouldn't have uh, did a greenhouse effect on our country and caused a drought, we might not be going through climate change. It's a farce. Look into it, folks. Now they want to force us to get all this lithium products, and then our insurance won't even cover it. And pushing those bikes. Now we're finding out the bikes. The bikes are even blowing up, or not blowing up, but catching on fire with people riding them and engulfing them in flames. So how many deaths is too many deaths? 50, 100, 200, 300? Just in bikes alone, they're talking a couple hundred. And that's with kids too. So now what do? They're not going to fix the bike. What they're going to do is the kids at 15, 16 years old on these EV bikes, um, or if they put a motor on their bike, have to go get a license. That's going to solve the problem. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I can go on and on and on about that, but I'm going to move on. Um, now, BLM, I have been watching, I got quite a few phone calls um, from African Americans here in my state that I know and across the globe. And they said, you know what? More and more of us are seeing the truth because of your show. But it wasn't me that caused the BLM leader, Mark Fisher, to say he's going to endorse the GOP. He's fed up. He knows the truth. When you start seeing the truth that they have uh, enslaved African Americans and Black Americans uh, forever here. Any nationality that they want to enslave gets enslaved. And who am I talking about? The Democrat Party, because they own everything, and they have you, the little people, work for them, and they make all the money and they pay you pittance. Maybe you'll get a box from welfare to eat. Their mindset. You remember what we did the Japanese? I think we had them in San Francisco for a while, and we made them. We put them in a little camp. We cordoned them off, and yeah, we would let them outside the boundaries, but they had to check out and check back in. Well, these new circles that they're doing, it's for them to block the cities out so they can have control of each city. So maybe, Alex Jones talked about this like 10 years ago. Look at where he's at now. But Antifa gets to spew hate, but Alex Jones can't say, wait a minute, folks, this Agenda 21 is going to hurt us. These little roundabouts, so you check in and out. That's what China started with. And that way they could keep people in their own little subdivisions. And so if you got a bad ESG score, well, you might not get to go shopping that day. It depends on what you want to go shopping for. And if you're in a gas car, well, no, sorry. You got to park it right there and you have to walk out. And then we hear that they want to control the internet. They want to control people like me and say, you can't listen to me no more. China has already got our phone. All of anything you say or do on your phones, China's got it. But see now, The United States says, well, no, wait a minute now, we need that info. And that's what they did with FISA. Remember, during the first Trump impeachment, they went before FISA so they could look into them. But in order to be able to get FISA judges to sign away with it, what they did is they said, as a whole, people as a whole. Well, that just signed them to be able to look into anything on an electronic device. Not only that, but that's when we started seeing uh, every TV has a camera. You're sitting there watching TV, wave to the camera. Because anytime they want to turn it on and watch you, they can. Anytime they say, nope, you're not watching that, they can shut you off. If they think you're watching bad things, they can cut the whole feed. They'll control the cable, the internet, your phone. What's that called? Communist. That's communism, folks. Um, so um, we found out, my source over there in Israel, we found out that Biden is secretly sending money to Hamas. So he's openly helping Israel, but behind the scenes, he's going to give some money to Hamas. They're claiming the Biden administration was funding both sides of the Israel conflict. According to Tennessee Republican U.S. Senator, Hamas was using humanitarian aid supplied by the United States to fund its war effort. So Biden is funding both sides of the Israeli war. And uh, Maria had it on her show this last weekend. Well, it's pretty obvious, Haggerty said. You've got Biden administration that is one thing and yet doing another thing. It's typical for their foreign policy to do the same. Where does Biden get this, folks? Where does he get to playing two sides of the coin? Well, under Obama and as a senator. When he was a senator, he was traveling to countries that weren't part of, we didn't even want part of the United States. And he was going and buying resources and working deals. And as a vice president, he even had more power to be able to push some elite buttons in other countries and dictators and kings. And of course, hey, if you want aid, if you want help, we're paying through certain ventures, certain American laws that we're going to help you out. See, he funds Biden administration is of ex Obama administration, ex Clinton and Bush. I got to throw Bush under the bus, folks. The same ones that we see Schumer, McConnell, the rhinos, a Republican in office that is pretending to be a Republican, but they are a Democrat. We always got 12 or 24 of them. When you look at their stance, like Asa Hutchinson, it's all for what the Democrats want. Democrats vowed in the 1800s, the end of the 1800s, they would be a one-party system and they would take over this country. Run it like China. Run it like Russia. Have they done it, folks? Are you waking up? Are we waking up finally? I believe so. Because when we see BLM and we see, I looked at the statistics today and they want to hide them. 37% of the black voters that were voted for Biden last time has changed parties. It's all GOP. It's all GOP. Latinos, Chicanos, Mexicans, even those that are able to vote in our states that are illegal or legal migrants, they don't like him because there are those that came in this country and they went through the going to Ellis Island and they did the test, they paid the price, and they got in there and said, it's nothing what he promised them. He lied. He lied. They lied. We had Henry Kissinger passed away. I'm not a big fan. Not a big fan. I know a little bit and a lot about Henry Kissinger, and I never was too impressed. But he was big for both sides. Both sides. And what I heard from Bohemian Grove, and he was one of the biggest and the strongest that would convince people that they needed to be Democrat and social programs. What's a social program? Socialist ideals. Now I pray for I pray and uh, I condolences to the family. But he ran from the Nazis. Did he learn? Well, we don't know. He was great with foreign policy during the Bush years. And then here towards the end, he was like really a radical liberal. So he did good things for the country, and he made bad choices for the country. But we want to just say that prayers to him and his family. 100 years old. I'm wondering what did he do? Drink blood? You know, we, I have to look at what the elite are all doing to live to all these high ages. No, well, folks, they just got better medical care, better foods. They lived longer. Look at George Soros. Look how old he is. Look at Biden. Sometimes they fare well, sometimes they fare not. Sometimes, like Joe Biden with his dementia, it's just really sad to watch. And folks, the former doctor and his doctor took a look at him. And according to the former doctor, they said he agreed with them that he don't need to be in office. And I think that's where the rumors that he may be stepping down. But when I watched his last speech he did, he didn't even know where he was at, what he was supposed to say. He didn't even know the group he was with and was just guessing. And then he couldn't even read his own teleprompter. And this is a man that's supposed to protect us from a foe, protect us and keep us out of wars, or protect our allies. And as long if it's written down for him, he does real well. If it's not, you see him falter. But this time, he had a speech, and he couldn't even follow it. China's buying into the Mexican thugs, starting to finance them as like a country, and sending them not only money but equipment and military equipment. And then to run an operation to get American hooked on fentanyl was cocaine, remember? And then once it started dying down and not too much was coming over the border, wow, boom. Um, we're hooked on fentanyl, or they claim we're hooked on fentanyl. And he is building up an army and trying to get us to tear ours down to nothing, and working with going after this country to eliminate it. I'm looking at my articles here. Um, Pro Hamas activists, and I had to look through this because I had 3 or 4 articles on this, are crushing Christmas trees, holiday lights. If they see an office that's lit up Christmassy, they're crashing into them. And it was some car that ran into the tree, they say. Maybe, maybe not, they said. And these protesters are carrying signs that's got swastikas and how horrible the Jews are. Even claiming and even carving their own 666 into their hands and on their head. Palestinian flags, Iranian flags, Le- uh, um, Lebanon flags, anything that's anti-Christian, anti-Israel, and pro what this turkey that I'm making is all about. I'm still looking, folks. All right, here we go. Now, and this one I had to read through because it's very technical, folks. Venezuela signals it may invade Guyana to enforce annexation. Um, it's a very long article. Now, the president, Nicolas Maduro, has thrown a full weight on his government in effort to using patriotic rhetoric to try to summon voters to the polls, and the 5 questions over the territory, including whether the current and future area residents should be granted Venezuelan citizenship. Guyana sees the referendum as a case of annexation and asks the International Court of Justice to halt all parts of the voting system at this point because of the corruption in the past and what Maduro wants to do this time. The court has not issued a decision, but even if it rules against Venezuela, Maduro's government intends to hold the election Sunday. He's going to do it whether the voters agree with him or not. He's going to do the vote no matter if the courts have done it or not. And this is part of, is it part of the Democrat Party being down there and talking to him? Or is it that we see Venezuela and Colombia with touches of China and Russia being there? So we don't know. When I tried to investigate this, Maduro's keeping is staying quiet on this. So is it something to be concerned about? Yes, because look at how many people have fled Venezuela. You know, look how many fled South America to come up here because of what? Oh, they say they're starving, they're hungry, the prices are too high. Socialist. Remember Bernie Sanders? Oh yeah, it's the best ever. Oh yeah, we want to be just like them. Well, are we close? Are we close? Will we be having elections trying to figure out if we want a dictator or do we want a true vote? And there, even Venezuela Maduro said, give the United States uh, two more elections, just two more elections, and they'll have a dictator just like me. And he said, maybe I could be the president of the United States. I was looking for that. That's why I was looking, folks. And when I read that, I was like, oh, no, 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 we don't need Maduro up here, do we? All right. Uh, Michigan. Democrats change primary election date to be able to cut GOP votes out. See? Isn't that a Maduro thing? I put it right below. I mean, when I put my tabs up, I put this right behind it because isn't that what I just said that they're doing in Venezuela? But this is in Michigan. What's Michigan? Dearborn. Yeah. When are we going to see a Islamic extremist run for governor of Michigan and turn the whole state into a communist? You know, me and William probably talk you to death on this one because we could see it. You could, if you can't see it, can you feel it coming, folks? And now Joe Biden, you know, Mayorkas, I seen it today, you know, or the last few days, they want to impeach him. And I think I seen today a hearing saying it looks like it might move forward into a hearing. And what came out of the White House was, well, you know, we kind of just go with the flow because it's kind of late to fix it. I don't think they don't even think that it could be fixed. And so when questioned, well, what's the plan if it gets really bad and you have to stop it? They don't know. So we are seeing people are surrounding, I'm not going to say aides, I'm saying those that are helping him make decisions, Biden and Obama help them make decisions on this country. They're fleeing because they don't want to go to jail, is what they're saying. One aide and someone that worked in one of the offices of Obama that's now working for under the Biden administration uh, is stated to one of my resources. They said, we're scared if we stay, they're not going to get the blame put on them. We are. And they're going to put us in jail. They're going to put it, no, not jail, prison. They're going to put us in prison forever. You know what I said to her? Or an Arkansas. And she said, God help us if Hillary gets in office. I said, well, it's a rumor. And she said, good grief, I might quit. Huh. Now, so why did pro-Hamas people? I mean, I know they don't believe in Christmas, so they're going to go tear down the Rockefeller Christmas tree. And the police held them off. They say this country had better start into Happy Holidays or else. What? They said there is no Christ in Christmas anymore. But folks, think about it. Has there been? You know, we do the Santa thing and we do the everything, and so many people don't put a nativity scene under their Christmas tree anymore. How many trees do you see posted on your Facebook, Twitter, or wherever, Instagram, or people that just post pictures? How many are posting their nativity scenes? I'd love to see some beautiful ones this year. Send me your pictures. Isn't Christmas about Christ? They say no, and they're about to end it. And the Democrats agree that it should be just happy holidays. There's no Christ in Christmas, they say. It's about ho, 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 and be kind and buy presents for your neighbors. And to sing happy songs, not those old hymns that make us depressed about this baby in a manger. Wow, huh? Oh boy, I got lots here. I'm going to have to pick and choose now, William. Um, Hunter Biden. Yeah, I'll testify in public. No, you're going to go in the skiff. No, then I don't want to testify. You know it's going to be a circus. He just wants to get on to say, look at me, look at me, look at my dad, look at my family. How wonderful are we? It's a publicity stunt. If he won't go in that skiff, he's not serious about testifying. That's all I have to say with the whole thing. I read article after article after article today, and some of these people just write pages and pages of what they think. No, it's a publicity stunt, folks. It really is. And when I was talking about the EV fires, car dealerships now saying they don't want these cars. They're not going to buy EV cars no more. They said they don't know what to do. Do they put their used cars on the new lots or what? But they are now saying they're not selling these EV cars. And if it hurts this administration, it hurts them. They're not, because get this, the dealership is now being told through rumors they could be responsible for these cars catching on fire. How many dealerships want to do that? And it's only because the insurance isn't going to cover it. Everybody's looking to, we bought this brand new car, and a week later, it torched my baby in the back seat. Yeah, kids have been torched, folks. They couldn't get them out in time. Who pays for that? The car dealership, and it was part of this publication I read. That's what they said. They said they are not going to be responsible for people that are killed in these cars or the cost of the car. That'd be millions of dollars of cost to these car dealerships. I mean, granted, sometimes we want to stick it to them, but should they be held responsible? It's this administration with their dumb plan and their idea, and whoever come up with this lithium batteries in these cars is a fool. Now, early this morning, now we heard about right around Yemen and Oman things going on. The U.S. Navy this morning, a warship shot down a drone that was put out by the Houthis. It was going after ships down around the Hormuz Straits. Um, and and then Iran, dumb enough, they had a drone fly close, dangerously close to the U.S. Dwight Eisenhower. um, so you see that Iran, and now yeah, get that. This is a rumor I heard, and I don't know how true this is. And I'm hoping I don't have this wrong, but I'll come back and tell you if I'm wrong. I heard from a rumor from not only out of Ukraine, but also Israel and Syria, from my resources, that some of the hostages have been moved to Iran. And Iran is doing it for protection because they are sending drones uh, to their own drones to attack, and they're having it be blamed on Hamas or Hezbollah or Houthi. And not only that, but we have them supplying these same few. And in order to keep the United States from coming after them, they'll say, "Oh, well, you know what? We got hostages. You know, not the ones that they've already got, not the ones they've pulled before now. We're talking the Israeli hostages, and they think it might have one over on this administration." So, I don't know. I'm looking into it. I'm trying to have my friend out of Syria try to send me more info on this, because that's where the story came out of Damascus and Lebanon, and whispers around. They say the palace of the leader of Syria, that this is what they're hearing. It could. Is this how come they're only doing a few at a time? Because we now find out today they're starting to list some of these extremist groups of terrorism that is a part of not only Hamas but Hezbollah. So we know they are splitting up the people, and many have come out saying that they're if it's a mother and kids, um, the Hamas will separate them and then tell the mother, "Oh, well, you know what, your kid's crying for you." Or if it's kids, we're going to kill your mom. Or if it's a father involved, "Oh, we're going to kill your dad." That's why they have them all separated, because it's a head game. Even a little girl came out, and she is scared to even talk above a whisper because she is so traumatized of having to speak in a whisper that her mother could be killed, her sibling could be killed, she could be killed. So it's not over. And then China throws in, the big one is yet to come. What? So China now put out in a statement that they planned on doing an invasion, or they planned on taking what is theirs of Taiwan, the country of Taiwan, and they said it 2 years ago. Well, just a reminder, Jinping said, it's a little over a year left, and they will have the power to be able to take Taiwan. We really do need a good president in office. We need to get our UN back. We need to get those like Nikki Haley, go back to the UN and do what you were doing there, because when she was there, things started looking better. Quit thinking about presidency. Go back and do what you're good at. And I'm saying that to all politicians, folks. Don't go running for an office where you're going to leave your state, your district, your city, your county, your country in peril. And as much as I like DeSantis, can we afford to let Florida go? Who takes his place? Do we risk it? California. Costs up 50%, folks. Like I said at the beginning of the show. And you know, I'm not trying to doom and gloom you because everything's looking great for the election for the GOP with the independents running interference. Mm. Okay, folks, that's it for tonight. And I hope you share and subscribe. Mary, you missed it. Mary's going to have to go back and watch it. Linda G, too. Um, Great show tonight. A lot of informative. And Hillary, I'm watching you. Yeah, I know she hates me. I'm on her death list. So subscribe and hit the like button, the thumbs up. Yeah, subscribe, share. Share with family and friends. This is the holiday season for the holiday parties. You know, tell a friend about us. Tell your friends at work. We had those ladies from Puerto Rico, and boy, we got hit with quite a few ads. And over there in Pakistan, you know, we still think about them over there too. And this is the season of love, season to give. If you can't put the dollar bill in the Salvation Army red pot like you did last year or the year before, even a quarter helps, folks. Even a quarter helps. I work with them a lot during the holiday season. So anyway, subscribe, share, hit that like button, hit the love button. Send me some love, folks. Uh, so with that, we will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday, and we have trivia tomorrow night. So come on and bring your friends. Have a party tomorrow night. Have your Christmas party tomorrow night, or if not, in the next few weeks, and add the trivia to it. So, all right, folks, you take care and have a wonderful Thursday, and we will see everyone tomorrow. And then we have the weekend. And, you know, let's pray that we get more hostages and that this all works out. Maybe Ukraine and Zelensky will calm down and maybe there will be a truce. Thanks for watching.